Start of the week now. Robinhood surging more than 13% since Monday, setting a record close today. Shares are now up 6 days in a row and 5 straight weeks. The crypto craze certainly helps. They're going for higher net worth individuals as well.
Yeah, I think the Bitstamp acquisition is certainly also a driver for people thinking that this business model is growing. And I think the question is, if the market wasn't back to 6,000, would Hood have performed proportionately? In other words, the beta that it has to the market, which is, I don't know, let's say 1.2, 1.3 times. In other words, this stock is a function of at least a lot of, market dynamics that I think are not necessarily all about fundamentals. I do think that the company has proven they've broadened this business model, and it's a much bigger demo.
Agreed. The beta is 2.25. I'm just looking. I think
somebody had to do that right.
You are really on point there.
Well, I was off my beta, but thank you.
Well, but I think the underlying premise is very spot on in terms of, is this kind of like just riding the wave higher? Now, I do think their core cohort of retail traders is strong, and I think the crypto craze definitely helps that. I actually have concerns about them essentially trying to grow into a full-service financial institution. I think that you'll likely see a lower multiple based on that. I think the attrition, them having to kind of like promote and spin in order to attract that user base, I think will be a bit costly. I think they're in a nice niche. I understand the need to grow, but I would expect some multiple compression if they are going to grow into a much larger player, so to speak.
Yeah, and we're coming off a time right now when you look at after Liberation Day, it's been retail investors who have been buying this dip more so than institutional investors, which is going to benefit like a Robinhood because you're going to see more trading activity happening from the retail side of things. But I do agree. Bonwin brings up a good point is the valuation. It's trading about 60 times forward earnings. So the question is, if you're going to have that kind of volatility and be, at least at this point in time, it is a lot more transactional and things like cryptocurrency, which are going to be more volatile. Does it justify that over the long run? And that's what gives me the pause here.
It's become a trusted name. When this stock first came out, people didn't trust it because it was a new name. You didn't want to bring money there. Now they entice people to bring over 401k money there. User growth is growing. Stellar earnings, crypto, gold, everything you can slice into the financial system, they are servicing people on. So the user growth, I think, is what they're getting paid for now. I get a little bit nervous when you look at the stock chart. This has had a meteoric rise. So I'd probably take a little chips off the table right now. But remember, if it gets added, hundreds of funds.
The S&P 500, which
correct.
Is the rumor.
Hundreds of funds have to buy it, and it's already had that long run, but you probably get a further elongated bounce.